Hello everyone, welcome to another World of Tanks Blitz video. Today, we will be looking at the Panzer V/4. Or Panzer V-4 as I would like to call it. The Panzer V-4 is basically what a Ram 2 would be, if it actually lived up to its name and was able to do what this tank could. Since this tank has a weight of about 44 tons, including the equipments, and has quite the speed for its weight at that tier, it's the perfect tank for ramming. Not saying you should always ram every enemy you see in front of you, but when given the opportunity, you can ram the enemies that are not paying attention to you, or are low on health. Honestly, ramming someone to death can be quite satisfying. I mean, just look at this.
What do I do? God damn it!
Wow, that was some ramming. Anyway, like I said, ram only when you see an opportunity, try not to ram heavy tanks if possible, you may end up taking more damage than you deal. Also, do not do what I did to the Covenator, you saw what happened afterwards. Ramming isn't the only good point about this tank. It's quite accurate as well. Although not as accurate as the Luva, there's a high chance you'll be able to hit something when you're firing on the move. Its penetration is not bad too. 110 mm of penetration on the standard AP shell, that's good enough to penetrate quite a number of tanks in the same tier, although heavy tanks may pose some trouble for your standard shell penetration, your APCR shells should solve the problem. HE shells with a penetration of 20 mm are only good enough to penetrate tanks like the Alecto, or the Panzer SFL-4C, so it is not recommended to load too many high explosive rounds. When using your gun to fight, your armor will come into play. The Panzer V-4 and Panzer IV-S are like the children of the Panther and the Panzer IV. While the Panzer IV-S inherits the Panther's turret and Panzer IV's hull, which is perfect for hull down positions, the Panzer V-4 was lucky enough to inherit the Panther's hull and the Panzer IV's turret instead, which is good because the hull is the biggest target that most people would aim for. While the Panzer IV-S would be struggling to hide its hull, the Panzer V-4 is perfectly comfortable with exposing itself because most of the enemy vehicles in Tier 5 would not be able to penetrate your hull armor with standard AP shells. If you're unlucky, people will start spamming premium ammo at you, and you'll be cursing and swearing as your lower plate becomes penetratable by them. But hope is not lost when people start spamming premium ammo at your face. Angle the front of your hull a little, maybe about 30 degrees, results will be the inverse because for those people that are driving tanks with low premium ammo penetration, it will be their turn to start cursing and swearing at you. One thing to note, the Panzer V-4's armor may be strong, but it isn't invincible. Your turret is a weak spot that people may choose to aim for if they cannot penetrate your hull armor. As such, unlike the Panzer IV-S which has a strong turret armor that is perfect for hull down positions, the Panzer V-4 should not get into a hull down position. If you have no other choice, move back and forth, making it more difficult to hit your turret. If you're corner fighting, moving back and forth will tempt the enemies to shoot you, but it's okay because you want the enemy to waste their shots by either missing your turret or bouncing off your hull. So if you're lucky, Your enemy will either bounce off your hull or miss their shots depending on your enemy tank's height. The Panzer V-4 is not very maneuverable. Although it has quite the acceleration and top speed for its weight, the Panzer V-4 cannot turn quickly, which is kind of a downside for a ram tank like the V-4. The Tier 10 version of this tank, the E-50M, faces the same problem as well. Since the V-4 cannot turn quickly, you are easily flanked and even your hull armor may not be able to save you then. So do not go into the enemy lines alone, you'll increase the chance of you getting flanked. The playstyle I like to use, would be to go with a group of my teammates, preferably maneuverable ones, and wait until there is only 1 or 2 enemies left at my side of the map to charge in for ram kills, unless if the 1 or 2 enemies left are heavy tanks or tank destroyers with high damage. Do not think that you can use this tank for mini games in the training rooms like Cops and Robbers, or Cops vs Robbers. You may stand a chance if you are a robber, but you'll end up dying either ways because higher tiers have more HP. If you're being placed in the Cops side, you better hope that the robbers in the other team are blind or idiots, because you are most likely not going to be killing or even touching any of the robbers. Same thing for normal battles. Try not to ram maneuverable tanks like the Leopard or the Lurches, they will most probably outrun you instead. For those tanks, just use your gun and shoot. There will be a higher chance of you killing them or even dealing damage to them if you shoot instead of ram. There are special occasions where you can ram them, such as when their tracks are broken, or when their engines are critically damaged, only then will you be able to ram them. Other times, even in a straight line, they will be able to outrun you because their acceleration and top speed outmatches yours. So in general, ram only when you know you can take your target down. Otherwise you're just wasting your HP. The gun has decent penetration and damage, so use it. Depending too much on ramming will only get you a one-way ticket to the garage sooner without dealing much damage. If you were to ask me whether this tank is worth buying, my answer is yes. It is a fun tank to play in and can earn you credits if played correctly. Anyway, time to end this video. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe for more of these videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video. To learn more about the Hetzer and watch a few gameplays of it, click the video on the left. To watch a gameplay of the 112, click the video on the right.